Hi, Stuart here, doing another quick video. I went to Eurogamer yesterday, so I didn't see anybody mention that they're going to go in the usual subscription list they have. So I thought I'd give a quick review, so to say, of what it was like there. I actually went last year. I actually enjoyed it very much enjoyed it. So I decided to go again this year. Now, I knew a lot of the focus would be on the new consoles rather than the games. Which really showed when you were there. I didn't get to play many games because the queues were absolutely enormous. Nearly everything had large queues on. But I did manage to play a couple of games. First of all, I played Forza 5 on the Xbox One. Now, looking at it, I would say the graphics aren't that much of a step up from the 360 version. What I did notice with the cars you could play with, a lot of them are made of carbon fibre, obviously, and the carbon fibre weave was extremely pixelated. When you looked at the cars, it needed a lot of anti-aliasing, and I don't think the system can do it that well. It looked like a high resolution because the jagged lines weren't as obvious, but the carbon fibre look of some of the cars looked absolutely terrible, to be honest. Nice lighting effects, nice exposure levels, like going in and out of shadows, they were very nice. But all in all, impressive, yes, but not much better than Forza Forward, I would say. The controller is something different. Many people would have heard that the triggers now have force feedback on them, or some sort of rumble, which is actually true. I've heard people say that when playing Forza you can actually feel like the car's losing grip or getting grip through the triggers. I didn't feel that at all. I could feel when it left the road and went into gravel, it started rumbling, and you could feel, yes, you could feel like rumbling when you're skidding, but I couldn't tell you whether how much the car was skidding or whether it's about to lose grip or whatever through the triggers. It was interesting, to be honest. It's a good feature, but it wasn't a showstopper for me. I then managed to have a go at what's the game called? I think it's called Race Club on the PS4. Now the PS4 had this big square bit in the middle of the actual whole arena. And from the outside looking in, it looked like once you get in there, you can hang around, play a few games, or talk to a few people, and then leave of your own accord. That's what it looked like, but it's very misconceiving, I must say that. Like most things, it had a very long meandering queue, which took about 50 minutes, I think, to actually get from the back to the front, so obviously get in. And I must say, at the end of every bit where you double back, excuse me, there was a couple of PSP Vitas there to play with, but some of them weren't working. Some of them, people were playing the game and obviously completely messed up the game, and when you go to the options to like restart it, it wasn't, the menu was basically blocked. So I think I was playing Uncharted, and either someone's done the level or messed up the level or done something. I basically tried playing it. I was just wandering around this bit of jungle. So good idea, but failed in the execution, I must say. Anyway, back to the main story. So after queuing up for 50 minutes to get to the front of the queue, what happens is you got a card. It says Game 1 and Game 2. Game 1 had a list of, I think it was 5 or 6 main games. It had like FIFA 14, but why do you want to queue up for 50, 60 minutes to play FIFA 14? I don't know. I had this race club, I had a couple of other things, which in this an 18 section. Again, I'll talk about that in a second. And then you had a card that said Game 2, and I had a list of indie games. Now, the way it actually works, you can wander around anything you want, but if you want a game of something, you have to give in this game card. And once you use both of your game cards, you've got to get out. So, very misconceiving. Do you know what I mean? It was very deceptive the way it was done. So, the only bit that wasn't in the over 18 section was Race Club. And to be honest, it's the only thing I was really interested in. So I sat down, had a game of Race Club, looked at the graphics. The thing is, you actually sat nearly point blank to the bloody screens. I mean, you literally, I'm not joking, you were sat that close to it. So to look at stuff around you, basically looking around like that, you're missing a lot was going on. But being that close, graphics weren't that much better than what we got now. They are better, don't get me wrong, they are better. Not that much better, I would say. Gameplay, it's trying to be very, very much like Forza. But we've got a Forza, we've got 360, you've got Forza. If you're going to make a game like that, you've got to do something different. And to me, it wasn't that good. I must say, one of the things about it was that race on Race Club, you had, I think it was 2 or 3 laps, and the laps are longer. On Forza, you got 1 flying lap, and I think it was a Laguna Seca track, which is not that long. So the time you got on the Xbox One, it was absolutely terrible, to be honest, from Forza 5. It was like, is that it? I thought, I just got the hang of it. Went across the line, thought, lap 2, game over. Oh, thanks. But Race Club, yeah, it's a good game. It could be a good game, but not anything we've not got now. So that was it. Now the reason they go to the 18s bit, because after queuing up for 50 minutes on this line that meandered forever, there was then another queue, probably another 20 minutes to get into the section which over 18s, which had the games that were rated 18. One thing at Eurogamer is they are red hot on ID. If you don't look way older than 18, you didn't get in without ID. The ID, do you mean if you didn't look like 20 odd, you got ID'd. So there's a big queue to get into over 18s bit, and when I actually looked in the 18s bit, there's probably about 20 machines, 20-30 machines playing various games. There's then actually a queue for each game. So after queuing for 50 minutes, you have to get into queue for another 20 minutes, and then probably another queue for 15-20 minutes behind each game. It is ridiculous, to be honest. But from the outside, it looks like a nice little area, do you mean, where you can all hang around. So I didn't go to any of them. And as I said, game 2 was basically a list of indie games. One was like a plane fighting game, one was like it was a side-scrolling shoot-em-up that actually went around like a cylinder, like a world that you just went around. Looked very pretty, quite difficult, but that was it. So, queuing up for 50 minutes, the PlayStation 4 experience I got was 4 minutes on a racing game, and then literally 2 minutes on an indie game, and that was it. So it's quite disappointing. I also had a game of COD Ghost. I think it's COD. I don't play these games. Now this again, another deceptive one. Big booth in the middle, and they actually had 2 queues going round the side like that. So when you look at it, you think it's only halfway round. Do you mean it can't be waiting that long? Yeah, it's halfway round that way, and there's a queue halfway round that way. It's exactly the same as having a queue that goes all the way round. But that queue actually went quite quick, because I think what they did was it was like a 6-on-6 deathmatch, team deathmatch. So every time one went off, do you mean 12 people out and 12 people back in. Again, graphics wise, lighting effects, they're very nice lighting effects, I must say that. They seem to have got the knack of bright sunshine and shade. They got that down very well. Textures, I didn't see anything very, very exciting. The map area you played in was tiny. It really was small. They didn't take advantage of the trigger feedback with the guns, which I found quite surprising actually. I don't know why they did not. Maybe it's a feature yet to be put in. But saying that, I couldn't actually see Xbox One consoles, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were running on PCs, which has done quite a lot. They put an Xbox controller there. You can't see the console, because what it is behind the wall is a PC running the game, but with an Xbox controller. So yeah, so that lasted longer. That lasted about 6-7 minutes because it was a full team deathmatch. But our game was about 2 minutes short because we actually reached the target, the goal basically. So yeah, again, textures weren't that much better. Resolution was nice. Lighting effects were very nice, but again, nothing more than what I'd expect from a very, very, very good. Put it this way, I wouldn't be surprised if those quality graphics came out on a 360. It'd probably be the best it could ever do, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was there. And talking to people said, oh, I like the new features like leaning out. I've played games 15 years old where you can lean out of a wall. What? I can't play. Anyway, one good thing I must say about that was when I was queuing up, the queue for COD Ghost was right behind backstage of the cosplay. Oh, I had to remind myself I was married quite a few times there. There's a very nice Wonder Woman and there's a very nice female Mario. Yes. Anyway, back to the story. The best game I probably played there was Bayonetta 2. on the Wii U. More button mashing as usual, but it looked absolutely... It's more Bayonetta. Either you love Bayonetta or you hate Bayonetta. If you love Bayonetta, you're really, really going to want to play this. I don't own a Wii U, and I won't get it just for that, but it's really sad. I'm probably going to miss out on it. The level you played is you're fighting demons as usual on the back of what looks like a really big F-22 Raptor, which is flying around the city. You've got these dragons bashing through the buildings and then coming to attack you. Total carnage, absolutely brilliant. Is it the torture? I can't remember what it's called now. It's been about a year since I played it. The torture moves when you build up your power, they were absolutely brilliant. They were hilarious. They were bloody. They were gory. Really entertaining. That was probably the best game I actually played there. Sorry about that. They did Celeste. It cuts out after the file gets to 4 gig, so I'll have to re-record the last bit. So after playing that, I went around the retro bit for a bit, played a few games there, played some of the indie games. There was too much emphasis this year on the new consoles. People who had publishers who had good 360 games and PS3 games coming out, they just stayed away, and I don't blame them. There was like an over 18 section, which had obviously the games were all weighted over 18. I queued up for, I think it was Modern Warfare. Again, I don't play these games, so I don't know what the difference is. I queued up for about 30 minutes, and I think I moved about 4 foot in that time, and I was nowhere near the front of the queue. Their area must have had about 60 machines, all lined up. And about 40 of them wasn't working. So I think that's why that queue was taking a very long time to go down. I think the demo also was quite long, which is good for people playing it, but when most of the machines aren't working, you're waiting a very long time. I played Assassin's Creed 5. Is it 5? I'm sure 4. I don't know. It's the newest Assassin's Creed. It's quite good. It was a PC version. I'm not used to the PC controls anymore. Been a while since I've been playing PC. Sailing around the ship, blew up a ship, looted it or something to repair mine, blew up another one, took down some sort of fort. Then after I took down the fort, it says now take over the fort. So I basically got my ship to this area, this big white area next to a dock, put it up there, and I just didn't know how to get off the ship. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Some of these things, some of these demos, they dump you in stupid situations with no explanation. Well, they tell you the controls are on a piece of paper, but they don't tell you what to do. So after time, you're wandering aimlessly and not knowing what to do. It's quite nice. It was quite a good game. It's an interesting game. I might give that a go. Don't know anyway. So, what else? I think that was it really. I feel a little bit of Bob's. That was it. The highlight of the day, and I truly do mean this. This was the best part of my day. I went with a friend of mine. He took his son and he took a friend as well. So they buggered off doing their thing. We did our thing. While we were waiting for him to arrive, we went for a quick wander. And then I saw him. So I actually saw this. I saw him last year, and I missed getting a photograph with him. You're probably wondering who I'm talking about, so I'm just going to show you the photograph. Now that is a real life grin of chuffness. I can't think of the proper word, but I was so chuffed to get that photograph. That was the best part of the day. I am not joking. That was my favourite part of the whole day, getting a photograph of Sonic. Absolutely superb. Anyway, to round things off, it was a good day. It was a good day. It wasn't as good as last year. As I said, too much emphasis on the new consoles. It kept some good publishers away with good games. Best game I played was Bayonetta 2. If you pre-ordered a PS4 or Xbox One, I think you're going to be happy. You were happy enough with what was known of the system to go out and pre-order one, so I think you're going to be happy enough to actually get one on the day. If you're umming and ahhing about it, I'd leave it. I was not impressed at all, to be honest. Not at the moment. Wait until the price comes down, wait until better games come out, wait until they get more out of the system. At the moment, I'll just leave it. So that was it. That was my quick review, could you say, of Eurogamer. I watched all these ones of proper shows and stuff like that, and obviously they're bigging up the PS4 and the Xbox One. Of course, it's their job to do that. So I mean, if you say it's a load of rubbish, Xbox One fans aren't going to look at their website or they'll watch their videos, so they're going to big it up. I'm just telling you the truth. Not impressed at the moment. Anyway, so as usual, thanks for watching. I hope to have a video up soon. Oh, 2 weeks to Eurogamer, no replay in Manchester. So if anybody's going there, come and say hi to me. Thanks a lot again.